Little Caesars has built an empire on having pizza ready on demand, becoming America's premier pizza pickup chain. But how much do you know about them? Here's a look at the untold truth of Little Caesars. Little Caesars was founded by Mike and Marian Illich in Garden City, Michigan. It was a huge risk, as the couple spent their entire life savings opening the doors to their pizza place on May 8, 1959. Luckily, it paid off, and in a big way. The first day, they sold 49 pizzas, along with other non-standard options like fish, hot dogs, and chicken. Within 3 years, Little Caesars had already been franchised.
As a franchise owner, you'll find out firsthand how much fun you can have being your own boss.
By 1982, the chain was big enough that the couple was able to buy the Detroit Red Wings. And in 1992, they bought the Detroit Tigers. Not bad for a little mom-and-pop organization. The Little Caesars empire doesn't just include sports teams, though. It also boasts a mushroom farm?
What the does that have to do with pizza?
Okay, here's the deal. In 1969, Little Caesars opened its 50th location, and by 1971, they were looking for ways to make sure their restaurants were getting quality ingredients. The solution? Little Caesars Mushroom Farms, Inc., which allowed them to grow, package, and distribute mushrooms to all their locations without using an outside vendor. It worked so well, additional products were added, and it gradually became Blue Line Food Service, providing fresh food to companies in the US and Canada. Pizza and delivery seem to go hand in hand, but after flirting with delivery a few years ago, Little Caesars decided to stick to pickup only. And CEO David Scrivano told CNBC in 2017 that isn't going to change anytime soon, citing customer convenience. Our customers know that it is exceptionally fast to pick up a pizza at Little Caesars, versus waiting 35 to 45 minutes or an hour for delivery. There's more to it though, with money being the bottom line, of course. Delivery fees would raise the price of the pizza, and Little Caesars has prided themselves on remaining super affordable, with much of their customer base in economically disadvantaged areas. How dedicated are they to the idea of pickup only? In 2017, they introduced the Pizza Portal, which allows customers to order online and pick up their pizzas from an automated station without ever having to see an actual human being. Seems a little weird, but when it comes to fresh pizza, there are no rules.
No calling? No waiting? There's no rules!
Put your shirt back on!
There's one rule!
Since 1985, Little Caesars has given back to the community with their mobile Love Kitchen, which is a pizza shop on wheels that they deploy to areas in need during national emergencies. In 2014, they announced they were adding a second mobile kitchen to their fleet, which had already handed out more than 3 million meals to families who were homeless or displaced. That's just part of the legacy of the chain's late founder, Mike Illich. When he passed away in 2017, it was revealed that besides giving millions to local charities, funding college scholarships, youth sports leagues, and giving free sponsorship to Detroit's ailing industries, he had also secretly paid the rent for civil rights champion Rosa Parks for 11 years, from 1994 until her death in 2005. One of the most economically ravaged cities in America is Detroit, which has been in serious decline for years. But Little Caesars is doing everything it can to save the city, pouring an estimated $1.2 billion into the construction of the Little Caesars Arena and the surrounding entertainment district. And so far, it's paying off. Known as the Pizza Arena, Little Caesars Arena was named Sports Facility of the Year at the Sports Business Awards. Not everyone in Detroit is happy with Little Caesars though, and in 2017, they were sued over pizza that was labeled halal, meaning it was prepared according to Islamic law. According to Dearborn's Mohammed Bazi, the pizza was labeled halal but wasn't, and it was only after he'd eaten some of the regular pepperoni that he realized he'd eaten pork. He sued Little Caesars for $100 million in damages. Little Caesars claimed that Bazi changed his order from a halal pizza to a hot and ready pizza that isn't labeled halal, and therefore the chain wasn't responsible if he ate it. In the end, the judge sided with the pizza chain and dismissed the lawsuit. Finally, from the land of internet rumors comes the claim that using the phrase pizza pizza while placing an order could sometimes get you a free order of crazy bread. Long ago, this used to be the case, but according to one Redditor, the practice is still in place in some locations. So, does your local Little Caesars honor the secret pizza pledge? There's only one way to find out. Just let us know if it works, because some crazy bread right about now sure sounds yummy.
Chuck E. Cheese is a restaurant that's all about the experience. Whether it's a good experience, video games, skee-ball, giant singing rats, or an adult nightmare, screaming kids, sensory overload, giant singing rats, probably the least memorable thing about Chuck E. Cheese is its food. Available for your next child party, you'll find snack foods like wings and mozzarella sticks, Dippin' Dots, chicken nuggets, subs, wraps, and even a salad bar. But there's really only one main dish worth mentioning. That one, of course, being pizza. But wait, isn't Chuck E. Cheese pizza supposed to be, bad?
Oh, it's terrible, Chucky!
The intrepid staffers of Mel magazine set out to test the hypothesis that Chuck E. Cheese pizza is the absolute worst of the worst, ordering pizza for delivery so they could sample it free of the distractions inherent to Chuck E. Cheese's carnival atmosphere. Of the 7 staffers involved in taste testing, 5 found it to be more or less mediocre, giving faint endorsements like, "Chuck E. Cheese pizza isn't even close to the worst pizza I've ever had." 2 reviewers waxed nostalgic, one calling the pizza the taste of his lost youth, and the other enthusing over the glorious goodie bag he received as a freebie, despite the pizza tasting of, quote, cardboard and chemical cheese. A senior editor, however, said that as a Brit, he knew bad pizza, but found Chuck E.'s to hit new lows. If you haven't had Chuck E. Cheese pizza since childhood, you might be surprised to find that it tastes a little different now. This isn't just a trick of memory, though. They actually have tweaked the recipe a few times. In 2011, they abandoned frozen dough and pre-shredded cheese for crusts baked and cheese shredded fresh on site. Serious Eats went to check out the new cheesier and crispier pizza, and their reviewer found he, quote, quite enjoyed the pie. He compared it to Pizza Hut's pizza, not favorably or unfavorably, just remarking on the similarities. In 2015, Chuck E. Pizza underwent additional changes under a new executive chef, with CEC Entertainment CEO Tom Leverton admitting that the chain's intent was to be winning mom over with freshly made dough, hand-grated mozzarella, and sauce made with vine-ripened tomatoes. Pizza Marketplace revealed that they'd been somewhat successful in this endeavor, with a nationwide blind taste test finding 57% of participants preferring Chuck E. Cheese pizza to Pizza Hut.
We hope you'll come in and try our brand new pizza at Chuck E. Cheese's, where a kid can be a kid and everyone loves the pizza.
One disturbing thing many people have noticed about Chuck E. Cheese pizza is how often the slices don't seem to match up. How come so many Chuck E. Cheese pizzas seem to be put together out of random slices that don't quite fit? Could it be that Chuck E. Cheese is actually collecting slices of uneaten pizza and reassembling them to make fresh, not-so-fresh Franken pizzas? So Yummy decided to investigate, and the pizza they received did nothing to refute their suspicions, as right out of the box, their medium Chuck E. Cheese pizza had markedly uneven slices. One investigator said, "The crusts don't quite match. And why are only some slices glued together with cheese?" Chuck E. Cheese has been back in the news recently once word got out that they tried to boost delivery sales by operating under a new Grubhub alias, Pasquale's Pizza and Wings. While they're not the only restaurant to try to boost sales by using a pseudonym, Applebee's has evidently got a side hustle going on with neighborhood wings. They nevertheless took quite the PR hit once word got out. On the original Reddit post that outed Chuck E.'s sketchy ways, commenters weighed in with reactions like, "This seems shady and I feel like it borders on false advertising," and "Damn, I would be a little pissed about that one. Ain't nobody want a pie from that place." ThinkNum Media took a look at Pasquale's approval ratings on Grubhub and found they'd taken a drastic dip once customers found out that Pasquale was actually Pasquale P. Pie Plate, the animatronic chef who performs in Chuck E.'s band.
People can eat their pizza-loving hearts out at CiCis. Even the pizza biz, though, doesn't come without its share of gossip. CiCis has seen some ups and downs since its inception. Keep watching to get the straight sauce on the untold truth of CiCis. CiCis is synonymous with pizza, and for good reason. Until 2015, the brand was called CiCis Pizza. Not only did they drop the pizza part from their name, they also dumped the apostrophe, causing mass confusion over just whose restaurant chain this is anymore. But there was a reason behind the madness. By changing from CiCis Pizza to simply CiCis, the chain hoped to emphasize that they have a lot more to offer than a slice of pie. They also offer salads, soups, pastas, wings, desserts, and even a game room. And they don't want you to forget that, which might be why their new slogan is Beyond Pizza. Sarah McAloon, CiCis Chief Marketing Officer, said in a press release, CiCis believes that differences are what make life most flavorful, so the new brand positioning underscores our promise to empower individuals through the freedom of the buffet to find the tastes they love. Along with the new name, CiCis also unveiled a new abstract logo, which is comprised of different colored triangles coming together to form something that looks kinda like a pizza? And in 2016, they completed the rebranding with redesigned restaurants, including a new color palette to match their logo, new seating, and an upgraded layout and buffet design that makes everything from the food to the games more accessible. Though the name of the chain is CiCis, the restaurant was actually founded by a guy named Joe Croce, who opened the first location back in 1985. While other major pizza chain owners went on to become minor celebrities, like Little Caesars founder Mike Ilitch and Papa John Shatner, Croce was a different sort of owner. Franchise owner George Brown told Pizza Marketplace that Croce put people first and profit second, even lending money out of his own pocket to help people he believed in get a start with the chain. That man loaned me, a married father of four making $35,000 a year, $146,000. It was a handshake deal. In 2003, Croce announced in a press release that he had decided to sell CiCis and retire at the age of 44 in order to focus on his family. "I will be leaving CiCis to become a full-time husband and father to my young family." In keeping with his philosophy, though, he insisted that the chain would only be sold to the people he trusted most, the other members of his executive board. And he also donated 20% of the profit from the sale of the chain to his local church in Texas. Talk about walking the walk. To think that if Joe Croce followed his degree and not his passion, it's possible the entire concept of the pizza buffet may not exist. Croce graduated college with an accounting degree, but after jumping into a job as an accountant, he realized his real passion was pizza. At the time, pizza places were either carry-out or delivery, and though Joe loved how pizza brought joy to people's lives, he felt that with the current pizza model, something was missing. So he created a sit-down pizza joint with an unlimited pizza buffet. It wasn't until the 90s that Pizza Hut followed suit with their own pizza buffet, but unlike CiCis, their version was only available on weekends or as part of the lunch menu. Thanks, CiCis! With more than a dozen varieties of pizza on the buffet at CiCis, it's hard not to find something to love, but CiCis' custom ordering program makes sure there is truly a pizza for everyone. Guests looking to bite into their favorite pizza combination can rest assured that if they can't find it on the buffet, CiCis will make it for them, in a personal size meant just for them. Pizza lovers can choose a traditional or flatbread option, add their choice of sauce, and pick up to 4 toppings to add to their personal pizza for no extra cost to the buffet price. And the personal pizza is still part of CiCis' famous buffet, so guests can still enjoy unlimited salad, dessert, and more pizza. Don't get too excited though, because the unlimited pizza is actually limited to just 1 customizable pizza per customer. If you want seconds, you'll have to choose from choices already on the buffet. That's not the only limit on unlimited buffets. Multiple people online have claimed they were told they had exceeded the maximum amount of pizza allowed by the chain. A Redditor, for instance, posted that they were asked to leave after downing 22 slices, while another patron revealed on the IGN forums that they were shut off after an incredible 52 slices. So next time you're tempted to test just how unlimited the unlimited buffet is, now you know that even CiCis has its limits. There's also one other thing about the buffet you should probably know: that food might not be nearly as fresh as you expect. Oh sure, CiCis says that their buffet is a place you'll find pizza hot and fresh right out of the oven, but the truth is that some of their locations haven't been up to par, leading to health code violations.
We're here because you guys are on Dirty Dining this week for when you were shut down for the rat infestation.
For instance, in Lincoln, Nebraska, a CiCis was cited for 13 different violations. Some of those violations included too low of temperatures and items sitting out on the buffet for far longer than customers probably care to know. At another location, this time in Georgia, a CiCis was cited during a health inspection for not noting the times they were placing pizzas out on the buffet. This location, too, was cited for temperatures being too low, specifically for the pizza sauce. The funny thing about the timing of the inspections is that both restaurant violations came after CiCis was said to have implemented electronic timers on the buffet line. These timers are supposed to flash yellow, indicating when it's time to remove the pizza from the buffet and replace with a fresh one, leaving no excuse for a violation. Although all CiCis restaurants are individually owned, it's hard not to judge all by the actions of some, so you may want to take a good long look at the items on the buffet next time you're filling up your plate, or ask an employee how long they've been there. CiCis has been recognized as a kid-friendly restaurant, and it's not just because it has an array of different food options for picky eaters. CiCis also prepares for those who need the food and entertainment combo on a family night out, or a place for kids to escape while parents enjoy some adult time. That's why CiCis has a game room. From air hockey to arcade games, and even a few where you can win some prizes, CiCis is making their restaurants more than a place to eat, but also to have a little fun. Before you find your lips and fingers stained with pizza sauce, grab some tokens and play some arcade games. Then, after your dessert of cinnamon rolls, play a little air hockey to round out the night. Some CiCis locations even have a few coin-operated toys to ride for little ones not quite ready to bring their A game to the arcade. In 2016, CiCis fell victim to a data breach that affected at least 135 restaurants across the country. Hackers had tricked employees into installing card-stealing software at the affected stores, and when customers were swiping credit cards at the register, data was captured. The number of credit cards affected during the breach were upwards of 600,000. How does a hacker trick someone into causing such mass chaos? According to experts, the hackers actually used social pressure rather than anything super high-tech. They just called the locations and conned the employees into installing the malware themselves. CiCis is not the only chain to fall victim to a malware attack like this, though. 41 million customers were affected due to a Target data breach. After Target, Home Depot fell victim to the largest point-of-sale hack of all time. 56 million credit cards were affected during that breach. If you're a pizza lover looking for a way to make a little extra money, it may be time to sign up for CiCis Pizza Challenge. Grab a friend, scrounge up $50, and make sure you go hungry because you won't reap the reward without eating an extremely large pizza. To take part in CiCis Pizza Challenge, teams must eat every bit of a 28-inch pizza and down 2 32-ounce drinks in under an hour. Pizza lovers from across all CiCis locations compete against each other, and the team who completes the challenge the fastest not only goes home with a stomach full of pizza, but a grand prize of $2,500. The 2019 CiCis Pizza Challenge pitted 36 teams against each other. Out of 36, only 6 were able to scarf down every bite, and they all did it in less than 30 minutes. The fastest challenge team, hailing from Chicago, named themselves the Glutton Force 5. They downed an entire 28-inch pizza in an impressive 7 minutes and 25 seconds. Most CiCis restaurants are franchised. Now, thanks to the CiCis Patriot Program, veterans are getting a chance to join in on the front line of the business world. CiCis launched their Patriot Program in 2012, allowing extensive savings to qualified U.S. veterans interested in franchising CiCis. CiCis Chief Operating Officer says the program was launched as a way to, quote, express our gratitude and deepen our brand's commitment to veterans. Through the CiCis Patriot Program, veterans pay no franchise fee, and in addition, during the first year the restaurant is open, veteran franchise owners also receive a 50% royalty fee reduction. Franchisee George Cox said in a press release that as a veteran, he is proud to be a part of a company that is dedicated to helping more veterans succeed in the civilian and business community. The new CiCis Patriot Program presents an opportunity to explore franchising as a career path, and I hope more veterans take advantage of it and join our CiCis family. If there's one place in America other than Nashville that's synonymous with country music, it's Branson, Missouri, where some of the biggest stars in the world gather nightly to perform good old-fashioned country and western classics. It's the rootinest, tootinest country jamboree this side of hee-haw. Wait, country music? We know what you're thinking.
Fuck does that have to do with pizza?
But actually, it turns out that the largest CiCis in the whole world is located in Branson. Measuring over 13,000 square feet, the Branson CiCis boasts a 40-foot buffet with expansive seating that can hold nearly 400 pizza lovers at one time. And in addition to the massive seating area, the Branson CiCis also has 2 party rooms, the so-called ready-to-go pizza area and a $1 million game room. You may lose yourself, or at least track of time, as you make your way through 5,000 square feet of fun. Are you guilty of donating what could have been your college fund in quarters to claw machines? Well, get ready, because at the Branson CiCis, it looks like you'll be doing it again. With several to choose from, they can get addicting. If you tire from raising and lowering the claw arm, head on over and roll your luck in the even more classic game of skee ball, or take a chance at racking up tickets on games that will win you prizes. So the next time you're heading down to Branson's 76th Strip to enjoy the famous Navy Pier Ferris wheel, adventure resort, rope courses, and coasters, you'll know where to stop for an energy boost. Country music and pizza. Does life get any better? Mod Pizza is a fast casual pizza joint that's taking the world by storm and growing at a ridiculous pace. We decided to take a close look at what Mod is all about, from the company's philosophy to its slew of topping options. This is the untold truth of Mod Pizza. In comparison to pizza giants like Pizza Hut and Domino's, Mod is definitely the new kid on the block. The chain's story began in Seattle, Washington in 2008. founders Scott and Allie Svensson were inspired to open their first pizza joint in their hometown, but not because they felt the world really needed another pizza place. Speaking to Q13 Fox in 2016, Scott recalled something Allie told him right off the bat.
Listen, the last thing the world needs is another pizza chain. So if we're going to do this, it has to have more meaning.
The Svenssons wanted to create a workplace where employees could truly thrive. As Allie explains it,
we are unapologetically for profit, but our purpose is to make a positive social impact.
Scott's background was in investment banking. Allie formerly had a career in the publishing industry. They're a truly unique pair.
And we started dating when I was 15.
A teenage romance spawned at Bellevue High School.
In 1995, the couple changed course and opened Seattle Coffee Company in London. They both left their day jobs to open the new business, and the leap of faith certainly paid off. The Svenssons sold Seattle Coffee Company to Starbucks for close to $90 million in 1998. 10 years later, they moved back to Seattle, explored the pizza scene, and Mod Pizza was born.
We're an overnight success 10 years in the making.
It's not often that a company makes a concerted effort to hire people with criminal histories. But Mod Pizza isn't your average company. Their hiring practices are truly unique. One of the reasons the Svenssons wanted to open the restaurant was to offer a great place to work, and they've embraced a wide variety of employees with different types of backgrounds from the start. As one employee puts it,
people have been out of the workforce for a long time. It's single mothers who have limited availability. They got to raise kids and stuff like that. It's people who've been in the military.
Mod Pizza calls it impact hiring. According to Entrepreneur, the company happily partners with community organizations devoted to offering career counseling for people who were incarcerated.
I just got released from federal prison on a drug charge.
They also work closely with the Monarch School, an organization that helps people with ADHD and autism find jobs. As Allie Svensson told Entrepreneur, people go to job fairs for impact employees and hire 2 or 3 people. But we just hire that way. Mod doesn't keep track of its number of impact hires, but those hires reportedly proved to be some of the most successful. A lot has happened since that first Mod Pizza opened in downtown Seattle in 2008. The chain has opened new locations left and right, growing at a ridiculous pace. In May 2019, National Restaurant News reported that Mod Pizza was the fastest-growing top 200 restaurant chain for a second year in a row. In 2019 alone, Mod Pizza saw a 44.7% growth in sales for a total of $390.7 million. In May 2019, the company announced its plan to rapidly increase growth with a goal of 1,000 locations over a 5-year period, ultimately creating more than 14,000 new jobs. The next expansion is set to develop locations in Canada, with their first expansion project dedicated to Vancouver Island in British Columbia. If there isn't a Mod Pizza near you, it's only a matter of time. Walking into Mod is a pizza lover's dream come true. You can basically get anything and everything on your pizza. First, you choose your crust, or there's even a salad option if that's how you want to roll. As for toppings, there are 6 different types of sauces to get the party started, including pesto and barbecue sauce, along with 7 different types of cheese, including ricotta, feta, and gorgonzola. You can choose one of 9 different meat options, or choose all of them if you're feeling wild. But don't forget to leave room for all of the veggies. You can choose hot peppers, roasted garlic, asparagus, and basically any vegetable you'd ever want. Best of all, customers never have to pay more for additional toppings. Sweet deal, no?
But at Mod, they all come out the same price. No catch, no surprises, no problem.
Budgeting can be tough when you're in college, but Mod makes it easy. That's because you already know exactly how much money you're going to spend there. The Svenssons built the pizza chain on the idea of helping people enjoy great, delicious food on a fixed income. And college students should definitely get in on the deal. As we mentioned, the price is the same whether you add 2 or 22 ingredients to your pizza. Writing for the Enterprise Record in Chico, California, one college student discovered that Mod Pizza is the perfect place to go with just $11 in your pocket. That's enough to buy an incredibly filling lunch at Mod, and you'll even have some leftovers for later. Any student can pile the toppings on high, making their pizza more filling and ultimately stretching their dollar. At the end of the day, it's just a great deal for college students and anyone else.
For the modern American family, frozen pizza is like manna from heaven on the average weekday night. The next time you grab your favorite frozen pizza from the freezer section at your grocery store, consider these interesting facts that help make homemade pizza like this available today. An article published in the New York Times in 1950 hailed the arrival of the precursor to the frozen pizza to the city that never sleeps. The ready-to-cook refrigerated pizza, first introduced by Leo Giuffre. These pizzas were pre-prepared, but the cooking was left to the customer. Giuffre rolled out his pizzas in Boston, and after being considerably well-received, Giuffre quickly expanded and opened a second location in Queens, New York. These original take-and-bake pies were simple 9-inch rounds, without any special toppings aside from tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, olive oil, and seasonings like thyme and oregano. This made them inexpensive, just 49 cents per pizza, and easy to take home and personalize. The Times suggested adding anchovies, mushrooms, bologna, or green pepper before popping them in the oven. After just 10 days of opening his second location in New York, Giuffre's company was tasked with churning out 3,000 pizzas per day. The success of this first-of-its-kind product made it clear that looking for a way to freeze pizzas for later use at home could be met with equal levels of enthusiasm.
Pizza!
Pizza! Pizza, pizza, pizza! Everybody loves pizza!
It's a little bit tricky to get a clear picture of where the first frozen pizzas were introduced, and by whom, given that the early 1950s seemed to launch the first pizza boom, with companies popping up in different locations around the country, at more or less the same time. For instance, a newspaper ad from the Berkshire Eagle in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, mentions frozen pizzas available for purchase at Kelsey's for just 33 cents. Although it's unclear whether they were made and sold by Kelsey's, or if they were a product offered through another company. The first real mention of a frozen pizza company was in a Chicago Tribune newspaper clipping from February 1951, in which it mentions Emile DeSalvi, a quote, bandman about town who decided to shelve his music after perfecting a frozen pizza pie. That was literally the extent of the mention, and it's hard to track down more information on the pizza company in the years between 1951 and 1954, when a second Chicago Tribune clipping says that DeSalvi had sold 5 million pies in the 2 preceding years. Quite the impressive statistic for a new company.
Hey, we're going for pizza. Do you want to come? Got a better idea. I'll make you some.
While enterprising entrepreneurs began selling frozen pizzas all over the place, one man, Joseph Bucci, applied for a patent for his method of making frozen pizza in 1950. In his patent application, he laments the problem of preparing and freezing pizzas that end up with a soggy or unpalatable crust because the moisture from the sauce seeps into the uncooked dough and prevents them from cooking well. His application provides a method for pre-cooking the crust with an edible sealing agent, usually tomato paste, cooked tomatoes, or tomato puree, before adding other items like cheese and toppings, and then freezing the whole pie for later baking. In his patent application, he explains how this method of freezing pizza prevents the moisture from the sauces from seeping into or affecting the dough, allowing it to rise and cook as intended. Unfortunately for Bucci, the United States is slow to grant patents, and his patent wasn't approved until 1954, long after entrepreneurs like Emile DeSalvi were making a fortune from selling frozen pizzas. At almost the exact same time as other frozen pizza entrepreneurs were beginning to sell their pies to grocery stores, Rose and Jim Totino opened a mom-and-pop pizzeria in Minneapolis called Totino's Pizza. The Italian eatery opened in 1951 and quickly sold as many as 500 pizzas per day. Due to the popularity of the pizzas, the family opened a frozen pizza plant in 1962 to support retail sales. A newspaper clipping from the Minneapolis Star-Tribune in 1970 pointed out that in Minneapolis, Totino's frozen pizza accounted for 75% of all frozen pizza sales, and that the brand was quickly rising in popularity across the country, including in markets like San Antonio, Milwaukee, and St. Louis. In 1975, Rose Totino sold the brand to Pillsbury and continued to work with the company to help perfect the frozen pizza crust. In 1978, Totino's became the first nationally distributed frozen pizza, and with the introduction of its crisp crust in 1978, followed by the patent of said crust in 1979, a feature that's still used in Totino's products today. And it's not like the popularity of Totino's has died down. According to their website, they continue to sell around 1 million party pizzas per day. And their Totino's pizza rolls are America's best-selling hot snack. For good reason, in 2008, Rose Totino was inducted into the Minnesota Inventors Hall of Fame. The United States government's involvement in the food industry is necessary, but it can also be a tricky business given how many parties are involved. According to an article published in the Washington Post in 1983, the United States Department of Agriculture tried to get involved in the frozen pizza industry by requiring frozen pizzas with meat to have a certain percentage of real cheese included in every pizza, but literally only those pies that included meat. Why, you might ask? Because the USDA could only make decisions about products that contain meat. The Food and Drug Administration was responsible for decisions regarding meatless or cheese pizzas. But in 1983, with a surplus of dairy in the country growing, the organization started looking for ways to encourage sales of dairy to other companies. At the time, frozen pizzas only needed to include 10% real cheese on every pie. 90% could be imitation cheese. Realizing this, the USDA proposed that all meat pizzas needed to include 12% cheese topping, with 50% of that cheese topping coming from real cheese. The reaction by food manufacturers was swift. Thousands of people wrote to say the proposed change would cost a fortune. On the other hand, the dairy industry was in full support. Ultimately, the USDA backed off, electing not to make any changes to the frozen pizza customers had come to know and love. When you walk down the frozen pizza aisle of your grocery store, you'll likely recognize many of the brands. Totino's, of course, is a favorite. DiGiorno surely stands out, and in all likelihood, you're familiar with Red Baron pizzas too. What you might not realize, though, is that Red Baron has been gracing freezer shelves for more than 40 years. Having first been introduced by Schwann's Consumer Brands in 1976, a 2016 article published in Business Wire highlights the 40-year anniversary of the Red Baron, pointing out that it's a brand, quote, trusted in 27 million households annually. All in all, though, you might be drawn to Red Baron pizzas out of nostalgia and familiarity with the packaging, rather than the taste. Most frozen pizza taste testers, like those for Taste of Home, Insider, and of course right here at Mashed, rank Red Baron as middle of the road as far as flavor and consistency. Although an article published in Delish claims that the classic crust pepperoni pizza is one of the best options on the market. One thing's for sure, any pizza company that has staying power for over 40 years is doing something right. When pizza happens on a tiny bagel, that's a snack, not a meal, right? Well, according to an article in Ranker, that was the plan of two friends, Bob Mosher and Stanley Garzinski, in 1985 when they came up with the idea of Bagel Bites. Their idea and efforts were well rewarded when, after investing $20,000 into their product, they made $1 million in the first year of sales. That number just kept going up, $6 million in year 2, and by 1987, they sold the brand to Canadian food company John Labatt, which later sold to Heinz in 1991, which started selling the snacks under the Ore-Ida name. The real genius in marketing came later when, in the late 90s, the brand started marketing to tweens rather than moms. With Tony Hawk as a spokesperson and a major marketing campaign during the 2000 Winter X Games, the company saw a 26% increase in consumption. In 1980, Pillsbury received a patent for the microwave Ciceptor, a product meant to turn frozen pizza crispy in just 2 to 3 minutes. The term microwave Ciceptor sounds strange, but it's something you're bound to be familiar with. It's the glossy, gray plastic surface that you place your microwavable pizza on in order to have it cook correctly.
Pizza? Dude, we're gonna be late. Relax. Not in there. It gets soggy, man. Trust me.
Basically, the plastic film uses the radiation from the microwave to turn the Ciceptor surface into a mini oven, helping it to make breads crispy rather than soggy or doughy. The real winner in the use of this tool has been Hot Pockets. Without the microwave Ciceptor, it would be practically impossible to enjoy a Hot Pocket sandwich, given that the sleeves for the handheld pizzas serve both as crispers and hand protectors against the Pocket's lava-hot contents.
It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
You can probably imagine the smiling faces in the DiGiorno advertisements at the very mention of its slogan, after the Kraft Foods company devised a rising crust frozen pizza for the home. For years, the frozen pizza business couldn't hold a candle to pizzeria pizzas, because the crust just didn't compare. But according to an article published in the New York Times, DiGiorno's introduction of rising crust revolutionized the frozen pizza business in 1995. The new crust came about after Kraft Foods was inspired to use patents taken out in 1983 by General Foods of White Plains. Kraft acquired this company and its patents in 1989, and by combining the information from these patents with modified packaging designed to prevent the erosion of dough, the newer, more pizzeria-like frozen pizza crust was born. The proof of the product's success is in the pudding. In the 2 years following DiGiorno's 1995 debut, frozen pizza sales increased by $500 million, and DiGiorno continues to be the best-selling brand today. Pizza may have its roots in Italy, but North Americans have more than fully adopted the food and, given the popularity of regional styles of pizza, have done what they could to make it an American food tradition. This is further emphasized by the fact that, according to a February 2016 article published in the Orlando Sentinel, after Halloween, Super Bowl Sunday is the second biggest day of the year for pizza sales. And the big game is definitely a purely American event. But it's not just pizza delivery that's popular in North America. Frozen pizza is in incredibly high demand. According to a press release by Allied Market Research, North America had the largest market share of frozen pizza sales in terms of value, and is expected to continue to grow between 2017 and 2023. So unless Europeans up their frozen pizza consumption game, they may just have to give credit where credit is due. Pizza is practically as American as apple pie. Even though DiGiorno's thick rising crust pizza turned into a boon for the frozen pizza industry, It's actually thin crust that accounts for the highest market share worldwide. This is according to a press release put out by Allied Market Research in 2018. The release went on to explain that the reduced calories and carbs in thin crust pizzas were seen as being healthier options than stuffed and deep dish style pizza crusts. This focus on health also helps explain the popularity of a new type of frozen pizza crust on the market, a cauliflower-based crust. First, cauliflower is a vegetable, so anytime you can add more veggies to your diet, you can view it as a win, right? Especially if those vegetables are disguised as part of a pizza. Plus, cauliflower crusts don't have the highly processed carbohydrates of a traditional pizza crust, so people on low-carb or keto-style diets are more likely to be drawn to frozen pizzas that cut the carbs in this manner. According to a 2017 article in Food Navigator USA, the brand Cauliflower's gluten-free frozen pizza crusts were on schedule to be available in 6,500 stores worldwide by the end of October of that year, and could be found in stores ranging from Walmart and Kroger to online retailers like Amazon. Papa John's Pizza. The chain's motto, as you probably already know, is better ingredients, better pizza. But these days, former CEO and company founder John Schnatter seems to have a serious issue with those ingredients. He certainly doesn't think the chain is making better pizza in his absence. In fact, in November 2019, Schnatter told Kentucky news station WDRB, "It's not the same product, it just doesn't taste as good." But let's backtrack for a moment. As was widely reported at the time, the Pizza King stepped down as CEO of Papa John's in 2017 after making controversial remarks about the NFL. As the Washington Post reports, Schnatter sparked outrage by blaming sagging sales at Papa John's, a top NFL sponsor and advertiser, on the league's poor leadership in response to the demonstrations during the national anthem. Then, in July 2018, Schnatter resigned from the company altogether after allegedly making racially insensitive remarks during a conference call. In fact, he reportedly used the N-word. According to Time magazine, Papa John's stocks plunged following the alleged incident. And now Schnatter is back in the public spotlight and saying he suspects that the Papa John's pizza recipe has surreptitiously been changed in his absence. Why does he think that?
I've had over 40 pizzas in the last 30 days, and it's not the same pizza. It's not the same product. It just doesn't taste as good.
Schnatter didn't explain exactly how he went about analyzing those 40 pizzas, nor did he explain why he decided to eat so much pizza in the first place. Whatever the case, he claims that the way they're making the pizza is just not fundamental to what makes a Papa John's pizza. Elsewhere in the interview, Schnatter alleged, they stole the company, and now they've destroyed the company. Man, who knew that a pizza company could cook up so much drama?
We're more than a pizza company. We're a pizza family. Papa John's.
So let's take the bait and talk about the taste of Papa John's pizza, which we should note has made John Schnatter a millionaire several times over. To our palates, the pizza has one defining characteristic: its unusually sweet flavor. Well, a supposed former Papa John's manager made a rather startling admission on Reddit in 2017. They claim the sauce has a sweet flavor for a very good reason. It's full of sugar. According to Papa John's website, sunflower oil, salt, garlic, spices, olive oil, citric acid, and yes, sugar are all key ingredients in the sauce. The cheese is a part skim mozzarella cheese blend made with modified food starch, whey protein concentrate, sodium citrate, and yes, more sugar in the form of sugarcane fiber. Meanwhile, the pizza dough uses unbleached enriched wheat flour, water, salt, yeast, soybean oil, and again, sugar. Actually, none of those ingredients are entirely out of the ordinary for pizza. So if there's really been a change to the recipe, there's a good chance some of the spices in the sauce have been switched up. Unfortunately, Papa John's doesn't spell out exactly what spices they use in their list of ingredients. We imagine only higher-ups at the pizza chain are privy to this privileged information. According to John Schnatter, everything from his removal from the company to the supposed new recipe is nothing but a big fat sham.
Stay tuned. The day of reckoning will come. The record will be straight, and everything will be cool again.
In the meantime, Rob Lynch, Papa John's current CEO, basically told CNN in December 2019 that there's no truth at all to Schnatter's claims.
Have the ingredients changed? Has the way you make them changed?
No, actually, nothing has changed.
Elsewhere in the interview, Lynch says, "I've never been part of a system that takes more pride in what goes into the food that we're making and how we're making it. We feel great about the food that we're putting out there. We haven't made any changes to the way we make it or to what goes into our products." Beyond all his problems with the taste of the pizza, Schnatter also feels like Rob Lynch lacks sufficient experience in the pizza biz. In fact, he says, he doesn't really know quality. Harsh words, to be sure. Meanwhile, Schnatter is the type of guy who will allegedly wolf down 40 pizzas in 30 days, all for the love of his former pizza chain. Perhaps that's the kind of experience he feels Lynch lacks. As we mentioned, Papa John's has been struggling. In fact, only recently did the company see its first sales gain in over 2 years. Whether that has anything to do with the taste of the pizza, we don't know. Opinions about the issue are certainly divided on social media. One dedicated pizza lover took to Twitter to write, As the eater of a single Papa John's pizza in the last year, I can assure you that the pizza still tastes exactly like it used to. Meanwhile, other pizza fanatics seem to think Schnatter is totally right in his assessment. One such person tweeted, "Papa John's pizza tastes like crap ever since they wrongfully kicked Papa John out. So what do you believe? Honestly, we have no earthly idea. But at least this ugly fracas is serving up plenty of food for thought."
You're not at a great point in your life when you're able to notice the drop in quality of a $4 pizza.
With its completely customizable pizzas and myriad menu options for people with dietary restrictions, it's no surprise that Blaze Pizza is becoming so popular. From its history to future endeavors, this is the untold truth of Blaze Pizza. If you've ever been to a Chipotle restaurant location, then you know how fun it can be to customize your burrito or burrito bowl with various meats, veggies, salsas, and other toppings. Well, it turns out Blaze Pizza is modeled after fast casual restaurants like Chipotle. According to Inc., the goal was to create the Chipotle of pizza, and by the looks of it, its founders have accomplished what they set out to achieve. When you walk into a Blaze Pizza location, you'll step right up to the counter and tell them exactly how to build your pizza. You'll get to pick your sauce, cheeses, meats, veggies, and finishes, which is Blaze Pizza's word for the various little extras you can get on your pizza. Whether you're into a pizza with classic red sauce, or you like to live life on the edge by adding goat cheese to your pie, you can pretty much do whatever you want at Blaze Pizza. Lots of companies partner with celebrities to endorse their products. These sponsorships usually relate to the celebrity's profession, like playing professional sports or looking beautiful while walking down a runway. In these instances, the company pays the celebrity to endorse the product or service. But in other cases, celebrities are so intrigued by an idea that they actually decide to invest their own money to help it succeed. Such is the case with LeBron James, an early investor in Blaze Pizza. He even gave up a deal with McDonald's in order to back the pizza chain, but it seems like his risk has paid off. According to SB Nation, James's initial $1 million investment in 2012 had grown to $35 million by 2017.
Oh, hello, hi, how are you? How you doing? Oh my God. I'm Ron, nice to meet you. Blaze right now is offering a large shareable pizza here with real ingredients.
And how does James like his pizza, you might be wondering? When he's hungry, he'll add as many as 16 toppings to his pie. Having James on board has undoubtedly helped the fast-growing restaurant chain become so successful too. After all, James has some serious star power with more than 68 million followers on Instagram alone, and he posts about Blaze Pizza quite often. Blaze Pizza is led by Chef Brad Kent, an accomplished culinary mastermind with a serious food background. Kent started his own catering business while he was in college. He then went on to earn a degree from the Culinary Institute of America. He holds a degree in food science and nutrition, according to Zagat. Kent also opened his own pizza shop, Olio Pizzeria, and helped Trader Joe's develop some of their snack food items. Over the years, he's developed his own delicious pizza dough recipe, which somehow manages to be both soft and crunchy at the same time. Kent is the real deal, and he lends his expertise to Blaze Pizza locations all over the country.
So we press your dough fresh for you, and then we walk you down the line as you assemble your pizza with exactly the toppings that you want on it.
If you've ever eaten different styles of pizza, then you already know that not all crusts are created equal. Far from it, in fact. The crusts made by Blaze Pizza are also unique in that they're fermented for at least 24 hours. Blaze's dough is made with filtered water, unbleached flour, yeast, extra virgin olive oil, and just a sprinkle of salt. This simple dough is then allowed to hang out for 24 hours to let the yeast do its thing, which ultimately leads to air pockets in the dough. The result is a crispy, light crust that serves as the perfect base for all of Blaze Pizza's many toppings. Blaze Pizza also makes gluten-free dough, keto crusts, and cauliflower gluten-free dough. So even if you've got certain dietary restrictions like a gluten allergy or intolerance, you can still enjoy their pies. Pizza can be a pretty conservative and simple food if you want it to be. Red sauce, mozzarella cheese, a little basil, boom, you're done. But the folks behind Blaze Pizza are taking a totally different approach, offering unique and artisanal ingredients that go beyond the standard cheese, pepperoni, and supreme menu items offered at most restaurants. In addition to fun toppings like Italian meatballs or garlic pesto sauce, the culinary team at Blaze Pizza isn't afraid to experiment with some outside-the-box ingredients too. Blaze Pizza recently created a pizza with White Claw, the popular alcoholic seltzer drink. Instead of adding the usual water to their pizza dough, they substituted mango White Claw. The alcohol cooked off while the pizza was in the super hot oven, leaving behind just a tiny hint of mango flavoring. If you've ever made pizza at home, then you know that when you're starving, it can feel like it takes forever before all the cheese is finally melted and the crust gets crispy. Not at Blaze Pizza. In fact, the pizza cooks at Blaze Pizza restaurants only bake each pizza for a maximum of 180 seconds. 3 minutes to be exact, because the oven is so incredibly hot. Blaze Pizza's ovens can reach temperatures of up to 900 degrees Fahrenheit, which essentially flash cooks each pizza in record time. Because of this, each location can churn out more than 200 pizzas an hour. The team at Blaze understands the oven inside and out, including where any hot spots might be located. They know if and when they need to move the pizzas around to get the perfect level of doneness. The specially trained crew of people who bake the pizzas are called pizzasmiths, or pizzaiolo, an Italian word that literally translates to someone who makes pizzas in a pizzeria. How very appropriate. Blaze Pizza takes its commitment to using only the freshest ingredients very seriously. In 2017, the popular pizza chain decided to completely stop using ingredients that contained artificial flavors, colors, preservatives, and other additives. They also stopped using high-fructose corn syrup at all restaurants. They called this bold move the Keeping It Real initiative. It took them 18 months to find new suppliers and work with existing suppliers to find sources for all natural ingredients. On the menu, this means that you won't find any nitrites in Blaze Pizza's cured meats, nor will you find any artificial preservatives in the popular chain's salad dressings or sauces. Blaze Pizza locations also began offering Blue Sky Cane sugar sodas and began using barbecue sauce made without corn syrup. They promise that pizza lovers will be able to taste and appreciate the difference that all these changes have made. Blaze Pizza is truly a modern restaurant chain through and through. They understand the values of their customers, mostly young people, including millennials and Gen Zers, and they're putting their money where their mouth is. All Blaze Pizza locations use 100% eco-friendly packaging. This means that every single food storage container, soda cup, and utensil is recyclable, compostable, or made from post-consumer reclaimed materials. In 2019, the popular pizza chain also started getting rid of plastic straws, replacing them with new domed lids instead. According to the Blaze Pizza website, forks, knives, cups, lids, even those cute little containers that hold the salad dressing, were thoughtfully chosen because they left a smaller footprint than most commonly available choices. Blaze Pizza wants everyone to feel comfortable at its restaurant locations, so the chain partners with award-winning restaurant architect Anna Henton to create a warm, welcoming vibe. The goal? To design restaurants that add dimension to your experience and exteriors, fire pits, bright lights, funky patterns, that also help tell the Blaze Pizza story, according to the company's website. Restaurant locations typically range in size from 2,200 to 3,000 square feet, with even more space included in the outdoor patio. The restaurant locations play college alt-rock music to help keep things lively and upbeat for diners. For her part, Henton specializes in designing restaurants both large and small. She's formally trained as an architect and holds a master's degree from Princeton University. She also cut her teeth by working at top-notch architecture firms before launching her own business, Anna Henton Designs. People just love Disney. Even grown adults flock to the Disney theme parks on a regular basis to meet characters, ride the rides, and just generally enjoy the whimsical atmosphere and the warm weather. Perhaps that's why the Disney Springs location of Blaze Pizza is so wildly successful. Every day, thousands of people visit this restaurant located in Disney Springs, which is basically like a large, outdoor, Disney-themed shopping mall near Orlando, Florida. In fact, this location is so busy that it can produce up to 3,000 pizzas per day. Blaze even argues that it's likely the busiest pizza joint on the planet. The company calls this their flagship location, and you can see from pictures just how massive it really is. This specific location was designed with high-volume pizza making in mind, ensuring that hungry diners can get in and out in a jiffy without getting too hangry along the way. Let's face it, we all have those days where we just don't feel like leaving the house, especially not to visit a busy restaurant packed with people. If you don't feel like putting on pants or you just don't want to run into someone you know, consider the fact that you can now make your very own Blaze Pizza at home. The popular pizza chain offers take-home pizza kits at participating locations. Even if you don't have a 900-degree pizza oven at home, you can still enjoy a warm and delicious pizza pie. The kits come in varying sizes and include everything you need to get cooking, including a ball of dough, dusting flour, pizza sauce, and up to 7 toppings. Chef Brad Kent also hopped on YouTube from his home kitchen to explain exactly what you need to do to make the perfect Blaze pizza at home. There are more than 300 Blaze Pizza locations in various states around the country. Now they're also taking their build-your-own pizza franchise overseas, with new locations in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain. All told, there are 4 international locations so far, and Blaze Pizza promises that even more are in the works. You can expect to see Blaze Pizza locations opening in the near future in Mexico, Asia, and Europe, according to an interview a Blaze Pizza executive gave to Skift. The company hopes to expand to a total of 1,000 locations around the world by 2022, an ambitious goal that also aligns with the company's plans to go public in the same year. The chain operates with a franchise model, with each new location taking about 20 weeks to design, build, and open. In addition to their diverse crust offerings, Blaze Pizza can also accommodate diets like the keto diet or the vegan diet. Since people following a vegan diet don't eat any animal products, you might be wondering how on earth a pizza chain could possibly accommodate them. Well, Blaze Pizza has found a way to do it and make it delicious to boot. Their vegan pizza can be made with a vegan spicy chorizo, soy-free vegan cheese, and tons of fresh vegetables. 3 types of their standard dough, original, gluten-free, and high-rise, are also all vegan anyway, so there's no need to ask for a special crust if you're vegan or vegetarian. For keto dieters, the chain offers a special crust that has just 6 grams of net carbs. Of course, you'll still need to factor in any carbs and the toppings you choose, but this is a great start nonetheless. The keto crust is made without flour, which Blaze Pizza's chefs have replaced with flaxseed, cheese, and eggs. The people who work at Blaze Pizza locations around the country genuinely seem to enjoy their jobs. It's a fast-paced environment, so every shift flies by in the blink of an eye. Plus, the company encourages its employees to be themselves when they come to work. They want their employees' authentic personalities to shine through, so long as they are offering top-notch customer service and making delicious pizzas at the same time. The company often promotes from within, with employees rising through the ranks to the positions of shift leader, then manager, then corporate. And for employees who want to be their own boss, they can easily apply to open up their own franchise location too. Blaze Pizza's franchise fee is between $20,000 and $30,000 per store, with a continuous payment of 7% of sales to go to advertising and royalties, according to the company's website. As a franchise owner, you'll spend 2 weeks training at their headquarters in Pasadena, California, then 2 weeks training at your store.